Hello, thanks for joining us today on Culture. She's German-Korean, bringing us ballet and martial arts, merged with hip-hop. He's a Franco-Spanish b-boy celebrated for his subtle style and unique touch. With their gravity-defying experimental performances, together they are the award-winning dance duo Wang Ramirez. Madonna is among their fans, calling them up to do the choreography for her last tour. Let's meet Honji Wang and Sebastian Ramirez. Honji and Sebastian, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Now, you're here in Paris with your performance Everyness, which is at La Villette. We'll talk about it in just a second, but first, let's have a look back at your careers with Haxi, Meyer, Belkin.
Yeah.
Wang Ramirez is the choreography duo that's been making waves in the contemporary dance world for over a decade. The concept of fusion is at the heart of everything they do. Performances incorporate genres as varied as ballet, hip-hop and martial arts. An early piece from the duo, Mon Chichi, is widely considered to be something of a mission statement. It explores what happens when two cultural identities meet, and is by turns comic and poetic. In 2013, their work took on a more overtly political hue with Borderline. Social tensions and pressures are evoked through a soundtrack of recorded first-person testimony, as the use of a rig gives a physicality to ideas of constraint and freedom. Later, Felahikum offers up what seems to be a spirited battle between contemporary dance and flamenco in a frenzy of choreographic exploration. And Wang Ramirez brought that same energy and power to their choreography for Madonna's Rebel Heart tour later that year. The pair's most recent work, Everyness, takes them back to their primary concern, the beauty and tension inherent in human relationships. A metamorphosing paper ball of light, the dancer's constant companion.
So we saw it there in one of your pieces, a ballerina and a b-boy, they fall in love. It was the subject of Mon Chichi, about people from different backgrounds connecting. You're German with a Korean mother. You're French with Spanish and Catalonian parents. That piece seems to be based on your story. Tell us about how you met.
Well, basically, we met very simple in a training spot in Berlin. It's a training spot where the underground scene meets. It's an open space where all the young people, professionals and beginners, they meet. So I was a beginner at the beginning when we met. He was already way further into competitions and touring already with his pieces. So yeah, that's how we met.
And how did you decide to work together then?
I was just so inspired of watching her dancing, new Dutch aesthetics that she had with a background and what she was doing. She was very skillful as well on the floor, which is my specialty. And I decided, yeah, I went to her and I said, hey, you would like to try to do a choreography and to do something more than just training now. Let's pass it on. And then we start like this and then snowball.
And I mean, how do all your backgrounds, because there's quite a lot of different backgrounds in the mix there, how does that come out in your work? How does it influence you?
Well, the thing is that, of course, I had a classical background as a training, but the hip-hop dance is something that we really learned by ourselves. There was no coach, there was no trainer, there was no professor. And as well, the dance theater world is something that we discovered just by doing. We never studied it, and just little by little it came quite naturally that we wanted to express and choreograph longer versions of just showcase. So we started to research and started to build. How can we build and choreograph a piece which is a full evening piece? And came just naturally by doing, by researching, by working hard, and yeah, that's where.
How would you describe your dance language then now?
I mean, we are, like she says, hip-hop dancers. This is our vocabulary, this is our tool, and then we put it in a context which is way different than where we started. And it's on stage, and we are talking, we're having a topic, we're having emotions, we are expressing something, and we decide which direction we are taking with. But our vocabulary is constantly developing and changing with the years of explore. We go deeper into movements and our aesthetics and where we are specialized. So it's to describe it, I would say maybe very very brutal and very soft at the same times, because this is kind of I would say that you find in every pieces of our work.
Is that what your relationship is like as well? Together, your working relationship?
I think more than our relationship is more the society that we are living in. I think.
It's everything what we just observe from the outside and from the inside, of course. In our private life, we're more, I think, balanced. And in the work, we are trying to always search for more extremes and question a little bit more what if and how does it feel like this now, and what do the interprets and dancers and the creative team as well give us. So it's more than just the two of us. It's really a work of a team.
Okay, and you've collaborated with many famous artists over the years, including Akram Khan and Madonna. Here's a look at her Rebel Heart tour that you worked on. Tell us, how did you get involved with working with Madonna? What was it like?
What was it like? It was very intense. It was very powerful and exciting at the same time. What was interesting that it's actually not so much different than what we are doing. It's really a time of research, a time of trying out, a time of not knowing where we're going actually. And at the end, of course, it's much more intense in the time because it's a very short time that we have to go for it. And she expects a lot because she has her high expectation on herself. So you just need to function, you need to work, you need to try out and function. And she kicks out things that she doesn't like, she takes things that she likes, and this is how it forms.
If you could collaborate with anyone, who would you collaborate with?
Wow, that's a question. Many great artists there.
So many great artists.
I can say it like that.
Okay, well, you're in Paris with Everyness, which is showing at La Villette. Can you tell us about it in a few words?
Everyness is every time we're creating a piece, we experiencing. It's our experience on stage, you know. So it is a moment in our life that we want to talk about this because we feel that way, and I think Everyness is it's based on our relationship. Like we did Monchichi was our first piece of the creation. It was at the beginning of our relationship. It's now 10 years after us, we are into a different phase in our relationship, and this is a source of inspiration we had during this.
But
time.
as well, it's about diversity, because the diversity is something that we get very inspired of. If we all would be all the same, it would be somehow flat. And the diversity brings so many different energies, different cultures, different traditions that we learn from each other. And this learning from each other makes it to be able to create new things and to as well create actually very powerful things. And if we would just do things that we know already and that we are secure with, I think it would be less exciting. And people, I think, should know, instead of being scared of the unknown, should be more open and receiving.
And the theme of identity is something which is very personal to us because we grow with that, and that's why. And I think it's very relevant now. I mean, especially now with all the conflict we're having, and for us, it's bringing different identity and cultures together, and we are together as a family on stage and sharing the same artwork, and so we experiment all this horizon, I think.
Okay, well, let's take a look. This is Everyness. That was from Everyness, showing at La Villette until the 22nd of April. Where are you going after that?
After that, where are we going? We're
Greece.
going to Greece to a
And-
festival, and then we will go to the
Kremlin-Bicêtre.
Kremlin-Bicêtre as
Yes.
well, and to the Spoleto Festival in the United States. It's in North Carolina, and
And
after
so on.
that-
We are
All
new
over the world.
creation. Yeah, we are new creation in London right now with Settlers Wells. Dystopian Dream is a new creation which would come in September.
Okay, well, we look forward to that. And we always end the show with our guests' cultural pick of the moment. And what have you chosen to play us out with?
Kendrick Lamar, his new album, is just marvelous. Can we say?
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
That's a good
I really,
word.
Really love it. I mean, he's like I think is I like artists with has a voice and has something to say, and he's very engaged in what he says, and the way he says it is not direct. It's more poetic, and it's music. His music is something that I really like too, and I think the way he talks about the human condition in his in the ghettos in America or in France or in every city. I mean, it's I really like. As an artist, it's very important that you use your voice to say something or to reflect on the conditions that we are living in. This is very important. I think he does it very, very nicely. And
Okay, and his fourth album is out. It was out last week. It's called Damn. We're going to leave you with that. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure to have you. There's more news coming on France 24 after this.
This that great poupon, that AV on that TED talk. Ayy, watch my soul speak. You let the meds talk. Ayy, if I kill a nigga, it won't be the alcohol. Ayy, I'm the realest nigga after all. Bitch, be humble. Hold up, bitch. Sit down. Hold up, be humble. Hold up, bitch. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down.